Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. He's a revolting fake Christian, as you would call him, Mike Pence.
Yes, he and Trump actually met on fake Christian Mingle. So it's nice he's still standing up for him.
You watched obviously the same. We've been playing. I don't normally enjoy, but I've really been enjoying the Trump sound bites from the Tucker interview. And you said you said the irony is Trump doesn't know what Tucker really thinks of him because Trump only watches Fox News, so he doesn't know what Tucker's texts say, I guess.
Gravel, Techie, gravel in your place, Techie. Yeah, he has no idea. It's kind of beautiful. Thank you, Dominion lawsuit. I think we're all a little bit shocked because we're finally witnessing, I guess, what we should call the dawn of accountability. Like Donald Trump, after years and years of walking between the raindrops legally and ripping people off, I mean, he's finally facing a little bit of actual music. We're actually seeing Fox News being held accountable. They lied us into the Iraq war. They spread racist birtherism for years. But finally, because they lied about this election, someone's going to pay a few nickels. I think we're all just a little bit shocked to know that there really were grown-ups in the room all this time.
Yeah. Oh, and Lordy, there's tapes. So is this Maria Bartiromo?
Oh, yeah.
Maria
yes.
Bartiromo. Okay, wait, let's take a listen to Maria Bartiromo.
Have any of the machines been looked at? He had said that one was looked at in Georgia.
I'd have to check on that in terms of Georgia. I know during the audit they did check on those machines. They're really, if we can just go off the record for 1 sec here.
Yeah, of course. I don't want us to say it if it's not. That's why we're checking.
I think they have looked at the machines. When the Secretary of State did its audit, there was I think a fair bit of looking at the machines. The audit came in pretty darn close to what the machine count was with the receipts. So, I don't know the outcome of those, but our understanding, again, this is from the Secretary of State's office, is that there weren't any physical issues with machines on those inspections.
Oh, so that was someone telling her there were, and so then
Yes.
she went on TV and reported the opposite. That there was,
Yes.
yeah, that seems.
Yes.
I'm not a lawyer, but that.
It's okay. I'm sure they can find a low-level producer to blame all this on. Don't worry, she'll be fine. I used to work with her at CNBC. I hosted an award show with her once and spent a lot of time with her. She wasn't always like this. It's really incredible how this Trumpism just rotted the brains of, people who are just lame conservatives.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, but wait, John, there's more. Hang on.
Tell me.
What about this software, this Dominion software?
Oh.
That's a little harder
Troubling.
to tell you, right? It's being analyzed right now. I mean, there are a couple of races that have been reversed because the Democrat was triple counted, two already in Michigan. Now, whether that applies for the whole state or not, I can't tell you yet.
This Dominion software, does Nancy Pelosi have an interest in it?
I've read that. I can't prove that yet.
Okay.
That was Rudy Giuliani saying, "Yeah, I can't." But of course, then they went on and said it.
They ran with it.
Yeah.
Right.
That Rudy Giuliani sounds like a $7 bottle of Matus. I just want to point that out.
Okay, and one last one. Here we go.
We've seen virtually zero pickup of the January 6th date, so realizing that a lot of folks, who probably have normal lives haven't gone through and looked at the case of Hawaii in 1960 and how that went all the way to January 6th and such. That's the whole reason why I wanted to chat with you, too, just to understand where the real backstops are here.
And the January 6th date, I'm pulling up our timeline. We do have it. That's House and Senate count the electoral votes, correct?
Right. And if both sets of electors are sent up, that would be the moment when the vice president, who's the president of the Senate, would have to decide which slate of electors to go with.
Huh? It's interesting. I'm not a legal expert, but it seems like Fox's goose is cooked here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna probably have to pay $2 billion, and that means that Rupert might not be able to get a second croissant with breakfast one day, and that'll be the end of it. But there will have been accountability. It will be on the record. I always say I don't think Trump's ever going to do a day in jail.
Oh God, I hate when you say that.
I just want to see him declared
no
guilty.
one can make me lose my erection like you, John Fugelsang.
What I'm saying is his life is going to be a living hell for the rest of his life. I don't need to see all the way. I don't need to see Fox
I do.
destroyed. I just want to see some accountability.
I
You
do.
know what I want? I want Mike Bloomberg to buy Fox News. That's what I want.
Okay. Somebody tweeted John Fugelsang. I would also like to add Americans and all firearms owners and enthusiasts understand exactly why it is the American right and duty to own a long gun. It's not for the petty thieves robbing liquor stores. They are meant for the purpose of killing members of the tyrannical government. You said, I don't think we can trust men to kill members of my government. We can't even trust them with apostrophes because he did not use apostrophes correctly.
Yeah. Like 4 plurals. Yeah. But, can I just say one thing? No matter how rough a week any of you are having, it's probably going better than the Dalai Lama. Have you talked about His Holiness on the show this week, Steph?
I have not. Yeah, I refer to you as His Holiness, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the story is only growing, and it's really, really awful. And I just want to say,
he kissed a boy on the mouth or something. Is that
no? It's worse. It's worse. It's worse. Even the Catholic Church knew never to film it. His Holiness is having an audience in northern India. A little boy's up on the podium with him. And His Holiness asks the boy to give him a kiss on the mouth, and then he sticks out his tongue and says to the child, who is visibly uncomfortable, "Suck on my tongue."
Oh.
To a little boy.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
There's only so many ways you can spin this. And I just want to say all the world's religions are really, really, really happy that finally Buddhism is the religion in trouble. We waited a long time for those empty, smug snobs to be dragged down to our level. And there's a lot of Catholics saying, that's right. And it's really awful.
Playing holier than thou, are they? Yeah. Okay.
Who's ever going to be photographed next to the Dalai Lama again? This ruins my screenplay for Kundun 2. Do you understand? This ruins it. And who I really feel the most sorry for, all the Buddhists, because you can't fire the Dalai Lama. It's not like a pope. Like when he dies, he comes back. And it's the same guy. So the real victim here is the next Dalai Lama, that little kid. Because that little kid is going to get blamed for whatever this guy did now. He's going to be called a groomer before he can walk.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
The Dalai Lama broke the brand of Dalai Lama this week. And it's shocking and sad. And I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of celebrities posing for pictures with His Holiness anymore. We should expect some sort of announcement about dementia to come in the next week.
Yeah. I mean, I stuck my tongue in Travis's ear when I was trying to hire him, and it wasn't really consensual, but at least we're adults. And in my defense, he said yes to taking the job.
And you waited till his 18th birthday to do it, Stephanie.
Yeah,
that's the point. We all remember. You waited.
Yeah. Okay, I like when you play historian on Twitter because James said, I have 4 ancestors who died fighting for the South in the Civil War, also numerous others that were wounded. My family, based on letters from them, couldn't have cared less about slavery. They were poor Bama farmers fighting for Alabama. And you said that's what they were told by the wealthy slave owners as they handed your ancestors the uniforms and rifles. Oh, my God. How many times are we going to have to talk about the Civil War? I mean,
well, it's Confederate History Month. Tate Reeves, governor of Mississippi, has once again, for like the 30th year in a row, declared April Confederate History Month, which, I mean, what can you say really in this century? I mean, congratulations. I haven't seen this many people celebrating the side that lost since Donald Trump's inauguration, but they're still doing it. This is why we talk about the need for critical race theory, because we do have, when you are still, Barack Obama's presidency was twice as long as the Confederacy, but they're still celebrating those magical 4 years.
Yep. Also, you tweeted, if Putin slaughters any more civilians, the GOP is prepared to respond with the harshest possible condemnation of Hunter Biden. We started the show talking about what just complete traitors they become. Marjorie Taylor Greene to Don Jr. to whatever. I mean, them defending this, because he's a white Christian racist male, this guy that just leaked all of our, classified intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the game now, right? Like Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis are pretending to be isolationist on this war, and the mainstream media is helping them, calling Ron DeSantis isolationist. They're not isolationist. Okay, you're either on the side of democracy or authoritarianism. It's really simple. So when they say, oh, why are we sending all this money over there, what they're really saying is democracy doesn't matter, and we should let authoritarianism violently take over with brutality, rape, and mass slaughter. Every one of them. And by the way, did you notice Lindsey Graham, who 5 years ago said that we should cut off all foreign aid to Saudi Arabia because Prince Mohammed bin Salman was a monster, spent Easter Sunday with Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia, released photos of the two of them smiling.
We just played the blowsies to, Putin, Kim Jong-un, every thug, dictator, MBS in the world in this Fox interview, right? They're smart, top of the game, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and that wasn't even the scariest thing he said this week. This was if he gets back in. Hang on.
As we completely overhaul the Federal Department of Justice and FBI, we will also launch sweeping civil rights investigations into Marxist local district attorneys. And that's what we have. They're Marxists in many cases.
Marxists.
By refusing to charge countless crimes, these Soros prosecutors appear to be engaging in selective enforcement based on illegal racial discrimination.
Against orange guys is what his point was there, you see.
Yeah, all these Marxist DAs against private ownership. That's Marxist DAs trying to nationalize industry. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned Soros, though, because can you imagine if we found out that George Soros had been giving thousands of dollars to Sonia Sotomayor for the last few decades? Yeah. Can you imagine if George Soros had bought a house from Sonia Sotomayor?
I'm so tired of that game, though, as us having to go. Can you imagine if, you're right, John, why does the media allow such a double standard? Why is this Clarence Thomas, every, unbelievable act of corruption just, gets reported like regular news? You're right.
But you know what? Chris Van Hollen is doing something very smart. The senator is trying to get a new oversight rules, a set of ethics that the Supreme Court has to adhere to, because his committee controls the purse strings for the Supreme Court. So they're trying to tie the Supreme Court getting funded to the Supreme Court following a new set of ethics rules as part of the budget package. Yeah. The problem is, as you know, the Republican Party will never get behind this. Yeah. So we get to see the corruption right out there in plain sight, and none of us can do anything about it. It's right there, but John Roberts isn't going to do anything about it. The only way you can remove a Supreme Court justice is through impeachment, and these Republicans don't care. He'd have to wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt for them to impeach him.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade. It is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and healthcare benefits.